There you are. Welcome back, divers. You already know what time it is. Oxygen levels.
Welcome back. Jet oxygen levels are at 100%.
Set a course to Dark Waters 9.
In 2016, a quiet patch of farmland in East Java revealed a secret. Beneath the soil of Dusun Kandi, in the shadow of Mount Kelud.
I love that name, Dusun Candied. Where are you headed to? I'm off to Dusun Candied.
Archaeologists conducting an excavation suddenly struck stone. Entombed by centuries of eruptions and buried beneath layers of volcanic ash were the remnants of a temple. And then, as the excavation deepened, villagers and researchers alike stood in awe as suddenly they caught sight of a pair of stone guardians. And just beside them, something else emerged from the ground. Towering at 2.3 meters tall was the Makara, a mythical beast of temple lore which is believed to have been carved 1,000 years ago. In 2016, of stone guardians.
Extraordinary. Look at these stone guardians. Let's just take a closer look at it. Just examine it for a second. It looks like he has some type of, looks like a rope, lasso. Looks like he has some type of lasso. Kind of giving me braids, dreads vibes. Like an older man with white dreads. With a lasso in his hand. Okay, here's another look. We can see the lasso again. What is he sitting down? Is he standing up? His knees really don't look bent. So he could be standing up. Why is his hand pressed on this pillar? Is this some type of charging device? You know me, I'm trying to throw it in there, see what's really going on. Okay, we got some more pillars. And Dusun Candied. It's definitely extraordinary. Like, taking a look at this. This might have not been handcrafted. We see stuff on here all the time. We're like, man, is it handcrafted or do they have some type of ancient technology? This right here, this is giving me ancient technology vibes just looking at it. Very hard to replicate.
This is the real reason why they had the war in Afghanistan. See, they lied to y'all. It's this ET body that they was looking for. Now look at this. Look at the jewelry that's on this ET. And look at the body structure. This is definitely not human. Tell me what y'all think.
I think it's a mummy. And I wouldn't be touching it. I'll leave it alone. Must be grave robbers or something. I don't know what that activates.
And so these guys were used, I say guys, but these spirits were used to, or these Nephilim were used to getting praise and worship. They were gods, you know, like Greek mythology and Roman mythology and even Yoruba mythology. These are all superhumans with superpowers, where they were half human, half angelic from another realm. Well, God drowned all of them during the flood. That's what the flood was for. That's why nobody could get in the ark with Noah, because everyone's blood was contaminated by this that had happened. And so nobody could get on the ark but Noah and his family, right? And so those, when they lost their bodies, their spirits were hybrid. So they can't go to heaven. They can't go to hell. They roam the earth. And that's why the Bible said they roam in they look for dry places. They're roaming the earth and they're looking for hosts. That was the creation of demons. They're not fallen angels. They're actually spirits, disembodied spirits. And so they're looking for bodies.
You know, some people actually say they found the location of the ark. Check this out. Fire Marshal Bill, let me show you shit.
In 1977, researcher Ron Wyatt identified a massive 515-foot-long boat-shaped formation in the Darupanar region, matching the exact dimensions of Noah's Ark as described in Genesis. But it wasn't just the shape that caught attention. Ground-penetrating radar revealed an internal framework consistent with a man-made vessel. They discovered rib-like beams, deck structures, and layered compartments. Metal detectors found long lines of iron, suggesting the remains of metal rivets, and samples tested positive for fossilized wood that was laminated with organic pitch-like substances.
There was no longer any doubt that this was the remains of something man-made. In late 1986, the Turks announced their decision. The ceremony was set for June 1987. During that ceremony, the governor asked Ron to demonstrate the radar on site for the journalists and military officials. When Ron showed them a readout that he said looked like an intact timber, the governor then instructed a soldier to dig right there. What emerged was this petrified section of fossilized hand-wrought timber. Sectioning showed it to be laminated wood. 5 layers of timber glued together with pitch, clearly visible oozing from the end. This fossilized specimen shows that rivets were used in its construction. Their analysis showed that they contained iron, titanium, and aluminum, among other things, very sophisticated alloys.
How did they get titanium? It makes you think what type of ship it might have been at one time.
That would be resistant to water.
In the remote mountains of eastern Turkey,
I think they really did find a large vessel here. Question is this actually the ark or what? Oh, okay, this is a recreation showing the actual size of it at one time. How fascinating. Okay. Wow, AI is good for something, huh? I don't think it looked like that. But it's you can kind of visualize. That's a lot better. Interesting.
We see Noah's Ark National Park. It's located about 17 miles or 28 kilometers south of Mount Ararat, about 260 miles or 450 kilometers west of the Caspian Sea, and about 200 miles or 320 kilometers east of the Black Sea. Then we see the actual location of Noah's Ark Visitor Center, drogue and anchor stones, and these can be found all over. Noah's home, that it's believed by many is where Noah lived after the flood. Noah's altar and the corrals, the pasture and the places where he could have had a vineyard and things like that. We see the mountains of Ararat. Then we have Mount Ararat. Then we have this amazing site called the Wall of Heaven, a place called the Crow Won't Land, a village called the Village of the Eight, and we have a stele that has been found and an ostracon.
You thought you weren't going to get another excellent specimen of the day? Think again. You guys see it? I want names, first names. We're all thinking the same thing, I guarantee it. We're going to put it in the comments and it's going to be like, yeah. Broccoli stems, you know? broccoli stems or asparagus, that's the way you gotta roll with this one. This one is very unique. It just makes you think, how many of them is out there? There's probably some people haven't even discovered. 100% underground caves, one specific cave just filled with one that you can only find in that specific cave, you know what I'm saying? And there's thousands of different caves, each with their own unique minerals and crystals inside. There's no telling. But if I had to name this specimen, I would call it holographic broccoli, because it looks like it's changing colors. There's like yellow and then it goes to like lime green. How crazy is that? I would call it holographic broccoli. I like that. Holographic broccoli. Look at what I found in Asia.
Alright, let's take a look at this temple. Clearly melted, just like all the other ones.
That definitely looks melted. Did it get hit with some type of ionic beam or something? As you tell me.
As you can see, the carbon-14, the red brick. Yes, these columns were all red brick with concrete molds over them. Clearly melted with extreme temperatures, literally petrified by
Yeah, an ionic beam. You know, you may be laughing, but it's what else they did? How else did this happen? This you can't, you know. It's not easy.
electrification. This is the melted reality. These temples were set up all over the realm, a grid system. And these were just sitting at the top of much, much larger superstructure.
Think about how mad you gotta be to use one of those. Say you are in some type of UFO flying craft, you know what I'm saying? And you got the ability to activate the ionic beam. You know how mad you gotta be? They're like, alright, I gotta hit this ionic beam. They tripping. You know what I'm saying? There's something went down. What caused it? I don't know.
In 1986, an Italian professor working for the University of Pavia in Italy would come face to face with an unknown entity. But unlike so many other encounters, this professor was able
An entity that looked like what's his name from Incredibles? Frozone.
to take photos. The encounter happened in the summer of 1986 when the professor experienced an extraordinary encounter with this unknown entity. But unlike similar claims, this one was well documented, and the photographs that he captured were of a strange humanoid figure that he could not explain. And this case really stands out because of the entity's appearance. It's very uncommon compared to other extraterrestrial, humanoid, or even some other figures, shadow figures, or ghosts. Aliens are usually described as pale-skinned or even Nordic looking. And this figure in this photo is darker. It has a darker complexion. And this detail shows up in other Italian UFO cases where the entities were sometimes described with similar features. Maybe it was originally a hoax by the newspaper. Another possibility is that the professor just staged the encounter. I mean, it's fake. It's kind of convenient. He had a camera on hand. In 1986, an Italian professor working for the
That's Frozone. You can't tell me otherwise. I'm sorry.
In 1974, near Varna, Bulgaria, archaeologists uncovered the world's oldest worked gold. Dating to 4600-4200 BC, the Varna necropolis yielded over 3,000 golden ornaments totaling 6 kilograms. This Copper Age treasure reveals a sophisticated society mastering metallurgy 5 millennia ago, centuries before gold appeared elsewhere.
Looks like he's eating those Ferrero Rojos. How you say them? Ferrero Rojos. Those Ferrero. All right, we have another. Some type of ancient war go down. type of eradication reset. You got the floods, but what about all this stuff that's melted everywhere? What caused that? You can see it a little bit inside the rock, you know? The whole chamber system inside there. Notice there's no type of trees, nothing nowhere. Like if we look back, you don't see no trees anywhere. Like this little sliver of town survived on a grand scale. But look in the back, no trees, nothing.
Have you ever played a video game that allowed you to draw directly onto the screen? Well, believe it or not, all the way back in 1983, Vectrix had that ability with its light pen. Now admittedly, this is not an original pen, mine stopped working, but this is a great remake that works just like the original did. And what makes it even cooler is not only can you draw. Have you ever played a video game that allowed you to draw directly onto the screen? Well, believe it or not, all the way back in 1983, Vectrix had that ability with its light pen. Now admittedly, this is not an original pen, mine stopped working, but this is a great remake that works just like the original did. And what makes it even cooler is not only can you draw on the screen, but you have an option to animate on the screen as well. So in order to do this, you first have to draw an image, and then go back frame by frame, and move points on the image to give it the effect of moving. Now this is just a quick example to kind of show you how it works. So after 9 frames, I can hit play, and this is what you end up with. Now obviously you can be a lot more creative and have things look a little more realistic, but this is just a quick sample. So imagine someone that actually has artistic skills spending some time on this, and you can come up with some pretty cool things. You even have the ability to speed up the animation and slow it down. Make sure to like and follow for more.
I kind of wish he tried a little bit harder and did something for us. A little stick figure walking or something. This is awesome. On a CRT?
However, without thought of their historic, religious, or cultural significance, all but one of these mounds were destroyed. The Great Mound was completely gone by 1869, and only one of the 27 survived until the present day. There was no law against anyone with a shovel digging up these mounds to look for souvenirs, and that's exactly what happened. While what was done here was an offense to the dead, and certainly a loss to science, what was found here was very curious. There were items made of seashells from the Gulf of Mexico, 751 miles away, and earrings made of copper that looked like long-nosed gods. These resembled statues and art from ancient Central and South America. At other sites across America, amateur archaeologists and trained scientists found that these ancient cultures were in fact very skilled in working with copper. Much like the Mayans, Aztecs, and Inca.
Kinda sad. It was almost like a free-for-all to see how much treasure people could find. These dragonfly drones. Butterfly. You think that's a butterfly? No. You thought that dragonfly landed on your shoulder? No. It might have really did, but you gotta be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. It might be a drone. Alright guys, if we look at these old temples of India, you know, in India is just, those temples are extraordinary, but what is that, like an airplane turbine? Were these buildings flying, and under these buildings are like a giant rocket ship? Is that the theory now? All those temples in India, it makes you think, are they all capable of flight now? Like, was it at one time and it just is buried, like half the temple's poking out and the other half is more propulsion devices? That's the theory. That's all we got for today's video. If you made it this far, the code word for today, before we get to code word, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps your boy out. We've been getting a lot better on the likes, and it really helps your boy out. The code word for today is deep secrets. Go ahead and drop deep secrets in the comments below. When you do that, that lets me know you're a real one. You made it all the way through the video and you really rock with your boy. I just want to say thank you. Means a lot to me. New Year's Eve is tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best to go live, do like some type of like, go back and do like a greatest hits or something. You know, what do you guys think about that? Going back and looking at like the craziest stuff of last year or something like that. I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you guys got planned? You guys doing anything special? Let me know in the comments below. That's all I got for today's video. This was the most mysterious TikToks on the internet today. See you tomorrow.